Alright boys, this is going to be from a $750 PL tournament I played the other day. Made a pretty good run. Ended up getting to the semifinals here against SEO Drip. I feel like this is the best game to break down. Had some other tough opponents, tough games that I went through. I had a 66 to 64 game against really M14. That was an absolute hell game, but I think this will be just the best content. SEO Drip is in Madden Bowl, probably a top 5 player in the world. Some people think he's the best defensive player in the world. I actually played him again later this week, and it was a pretty good game as well. But we'll stick with breaking down this one for now. So this was live over on Twitch at twitch.tv/killa_camo if you guys want to tap into the streams. I always stream my gauntlets pretty much, and I stream most of the tournaments that I play in. So you're gonna see the live reaction here. I'm gonna keep the audio off for the most part though. So after we do our subs, coming out in 3-3 odd. This is the first time I had ever played him. I've seen him play a couple other guys before, so I know he likes to run doubles and a few other things. He mains out a bunch X nasty. He likes to audible around a lot, so we're just gonna come out and run our basic shell, see how he handles the blitzes and whatnot. And first play, we actually scream at him, so I don't know if he untargeted us or what happened here, but our looper, it looks like it's Kitchens, just absolute screamer, straight in, beautiful coverage, everything's bagged. This is a simple cover 3 shell right there too, so very good start. Alright, we got him in 2nd and 10. Looks like we're going to be sending the blitz off the left this time, because I'm going to assume he's going to adjust, and we do get free. We force a quick pass, and boom, 2 blitzes back to back, starting off the drive well, get him in a 3rd and long. Yeah, this is an ideal situation to start out. If you guys see here, I actually am using the blitzer this time, hoping maybe he has identifier. I didn't check at this point in the game. And I'm just sending the same blitz, but trying to make it look a little bit different and still disguise it, and just seeing how he handles it. And we actually get free, but he gets chipped and bombed, and he just scrambles away from it anyway, and, good play by him. So he's coming out in doubles here. We're just in a basic cover 3. We've got a cloud on the right side, or a 10-yard hard flat on the right side. We're manning up the running back because he was doing a lot of the running back routes out of the backfield, out of doubles. And he does have a streak, and it's pretty much bagged. Hard flat on the right side to take away the tight end, 10-yard hard flat. Then we just use our switch to cover the rest of the routes. We get good pressure, 7 and 4, and had the running back manned up. Beautiful defense. So we're getting good pressure at this point in the game. Looks like he's struggling with it a little bit. He flips, I'm adjusting. Pretty much just basing in cover 3. It looks like we actually dropped 9 right there. Didn't send the blitz. Alright, got him in 3rd and 4 now. We're going to come on a more aggressive shell. Running some man, trying to catch him off guard. Hadn't run man yet this game. I actually hard flat this guy out here, and I cross man here, vert hook, send 4. I think we might have hard flat man, and then we've got, no, that would be bunch X nasty. So this is just straight man, it looks like probably. This could be cross man too, but I don't think I elected to do that in this situation. And then we're just straight up man across the board with this vert hook out here. So see how it plays out. Don't get the best pressure, but if you look here, we do actually switch pretty beautifully. We're just looking to take away anything in the flat here because we don't have any kind of hard flat. That's why I switched over to Lawrence Taylor. Once we see nothing, there's no threat to the flat. The only thing that's coming across is cross man right now at this point. The running back, he's manned up, but I'm not too worried about it. I think I might fly down. But I'm more so worried about him man, especially against a good player like this, about the pass lead streak. So I instantly switch up, and I cover that. I take both of the streaks away, and boom. Now we've got him in 4th down. Looks like we're sending our hot blitz 3, blitz off the left. You also could do this on overload press 3, but we're blitzing off the left, cover 3. Hard flats on both sides, and it's decent defense, honestly. We get decent pressure. It's just, kind of a bad switch here. Let's break this down again. So we switch out here. I was looking to maybe take away some sort of corner route or just help on that ISO side. I want to read that first. Once I realize that's not really a factor and we're okay, I switch and take away the tight end, make sure he can't just run vertically. And at that point, I honestly thought the tight end might continue vertically. I switched off at such a bad time, but I go to take away that little that crossing route, and then I go to take away the pass lead streak, and it's just, I don't know. I couldn't cover everything there. My hook's around 5. He gets a big play. But, we forced him into 2 4th downs already, I think, or at least 1, and we've maybe 1 3rd and long. So We're playing okay defense. Now we're just gonna send a send 2 and pretty good D. Now we're blitzing again, getting out of the send 2. I'm trying to make it maybe untarget my user right there. I user rush, switch off, decent defense, everything's pretty much covered. So he hurries up here, and in this situation, I'm just trying to get a man on a man at this point. I don't want to give up anything too easy, so I just decide to audible straight to man and send 4. Put some contains on the field, similar shell to what I did earlier in the game, and it's actually pretty solid. He makes that throw and somehow completes it right there. I thought he would run more than anything, but here I just decided to call timeout. I don't want to get quick hiked again. I want to be able to set up my defense and have the best defense possible on the field here. So we decided to go with an aggressive shell. And he actually killed me with this a few times this game where he motions out this running back. But the idea here is hard flat, hook, hook. Man up the 2 most important guys. You know, this is just a good basic hex seed shell pretty much from Hot Blitz 3. And now we're going to try and get pressure with these guys, send in 5. A lot of guys try to roll out too. Not so much maybe with Fitzy, but you know, we want to keep him in the pocket here. I'm going to typically start here, switch here. Everything on the left should be pretty much taken away unless he just runs like some weird streak. But even these hard flats will play that like, you know, they'll play it for a moment in time. So I usually try to switch here and just take away anything vertical or any kind of like return route off of this Deion Sanders or maybe a corner route. And I'm just trying to basically take away these routes out here. Worried about these 2 guys who aren't manned up for the most part. But when he motions out the running back, it really does throw off my entire mojo. I was not expecting that. I'm trying to cover everything short, like a fence post across the field essentially. And he does a good job of attacking me more vertically, and while I have more of a horizontal defense, he just puts this guy in a quick out. That's probably his first read where he can just snap throw that, and then you know he's got this corner, this slot fade, which is probably more so clearing out for any kind of like my deep blue zone that would typically be there if someone was in cover 2, because that's typically what people would run here. And then he would look for a high-low on this corner and this out, and then he also has this drag backside to help as a check down or, you know, maybe a playmaker up. But if you end up watching and seeing here, he actually just takes a slot fade. Yeah, it's a good read by him. You know, I was willing to give that up. I was trying to get a more aggressive shell on the field. The next time that I played him, I actually adjusted to that, and I ran a little bit more just stock Tampa 2 in the red zone. Obviously, he's a good player. He has beaters for that, but I mixed that in a little bit more, and definitely I got a couple red zone stops with that, and it was definitely a lot more effective than just running the straight aggressive shell all the time, because he's going to catch on to that. So first drive on offense, we're in bunch tight end weak, motioning out. We're actually looking to get a possible beater on him here. We've got this slot fade, clear out streak, whip route. This is a clear out table. And then I like, you could leave this stock corner route, but I like a stemmed up 2.5 times on the deep head, tight end out. I generally think this pulls deep halves and outside thirds a lot better for this slot fade. In my experience of what I've labbed, but you know, either can work. You can hit this slot fade across the middle of the field, which I need to do more right here, or deep if they're in cover 3. If you're more so looking for something like this, where you know, cover 3, even honestly, this is more so what you're looking for. Cover 3, hook curl, cover 3, like this. If you get some defense like this corner is going to bite on that out or that corner out. This slot fade will be wide open for a touchdown. This guy will get taken over by the streak. Also, if you did put a corner out on this guy, this third would get pulled, and you can throw a beater over here too. So I was going for a more aggressive play here, you know, 3 down lineman. So I was trying to take the top off first play, and also you always have a pretty good check down. You can playmaker this return route, and it's pretty much unguardable, or this whip route, and it's pretty much unguardable unless you do something special. You got to man it up, and even then you can just pass lead it away. So at that point you pretty much have to user it. And it looks like I actually changed it up and I go for something a little bit more aggressive. I ended up doing a drag here and a corner out here, giving myself 2 bomb opportunities. And it looks like he may have actually been in match there, and I had my out route, but that out route, I don't ever really look at it, and that's the argument where maybe you just go corner route, because the corner route will be way more wide open right there. And the out route is just not in a window that I like to throw, but I just check it down to the running back on that drag. That's what he's out there for. Kind of a safety net that you can always playmaker. Basic spacing switch combo. Just going to look flat, slant, return, dig, high-low. Also could always pass lead the streak against man, so. Flat taken away. Again, this looks like match. It definitely is match. It's probably cover 4 quarters. And everything is pretty much bagged. We do have an option there where we can kind of pass lead that down and away to the tight end. We try to get it off. There's pressure on us. Looks like our dig was coming open a little bit there too, but I definitely adjusted more to his. It looks like maybe right here I realized that it was match because I'm probably going to go into a match beater. Yes, and I do. And I actually hard commit to the match beater. I put this slot fade out on the field. You'll see Wesley do this a lot where number one, this is just a great high-low over here against any coverage, but this streak can get wide open against match, and actually I hit him on a bomb on this a couple times the next time I played him. It was actually open the entire game. He was spamming match on me, but he was getting a crazy pass rush the next time I played him. But anyway, also, if you do get match over here, this guy will follow the receiver on the outside, and you can pass lead it inside. Super, super good match bomb regardless. And it's just a good play overall. I definitely would rather have this outside receiver over here on a return if I don't think it's match. It's a better check down, but regardless, very good play. And we'll see what happens here this first time I run it. And I have my running back here. We'll see if I check it down. Yep. I maybe missed it a little bit late. Or I maybe read that a little bit late there to the running back. I was kind of expecting the slot fade to be lone. Like I was trying to hit the bomb. I don't know. I was trying to hit a big play here at the start of the game. Maybe it wasn't the best. I don't think that's the best way to play Madden this year. But we go inside zone, untarget the backside defensive end, and we just get out with our boost. So, great first play. He was a little bit lazy maybe there on the the run shoot, and we get a free touchdown. Back on defense, and speaking of lazy run shoot, I go into aggressive man shell. He hasn't ran the ball one time this game, and I was not in the spot that I should be to hover. So typically, against these like inside zones, especially when bunch tight end weak, bunch tight end weak not so much, bunch X nasty, all these kind of inside zones to the left, the easiest way to stop it is just bring this guy right here and just loop in, and you're going to come free every single time pretty much, especially if this guy is blitzing. Like, they just won't recognize you, and you even get like a little bit of a speed boost sometimes. Like when you go through the hole, it's unlike anything I've ever seen out of any other formation. So you'll see here, I am not in the right spot. I don't expect a run shoot. It really caught me off guard. For some reason, Taylor's maze. I tried to dive tackle, and my back is turned to him, so it's just way too easy. After a really good first defensive drive, I was pretty disappointed in that. Now we're going to go into just a basic, spacing switch. Typically good against cover 4, and I figured since it was match, that drag is probably going to be there. The 3-rec struggle with that, and unfortunately we just a batted down D-line fucking tip. So that's unfortunate, but we move on. Now we're going to go into motion halfback choice. We've got our drag and our tight end post. Our running back post is a check down and make a nice read, nice burst as well. Beautiful. So typically here what I'm looking for, if you want to think about where my eyes are at. On this play, I am really trying to attack vertically. I'm looking, I don't always, something I saw David T talk about is you don't always need to look for your drag first. Like, it's just not the best way to play the game necessarily. Like, underneath routes are great, especially with how good the sheds are. But I'm actually looking at these guys, these 3 guys right here, and I'm trying to see what they're doing. I'm trying to just see, okay, is it cover 2, is it cover 3, is it cover 4? It's rarely going to be cover 2, but is it cover 3 or cover 4 essentially, or is it man? And that's going to determine, whether I can hit Shaheed if it's cover 3, or even cover 2 man or cover 2, you can hit Shaheed. And then if it's cover 4, there's a possibility we can bomb him here. If it's cover 3, we also could technically maybe hit this up the seam with this just like really quick right here. And then if that's not there, we're just going to quickly get our eyes into this high-low with our corner route and our drag, and then we've always got this backside post. So that's the thought process behind that. So after we pick up that big game, we go to one of my favorite combos in the game out of bunch tight end weak, just old classic Durham essentially. Looking for the flat route, and then we've got our drag, streak, post. Post was there as well. Post is great against man and zone, but we take our drag. It's how we're going to move the ball. It's how we're going to win games at a consistent rate, especially when we're getting good pressure in our face. Next, looks like we want to give him a little bit different look. You know, we ran out a bunch tight end already. Now let's go trips tight end. It's essentially going to be the same thing for us. And he ends up shooting it. Want to keep him honest with the run. And honestly, that's something that I wish I did more the second time I played him, is run the ball more. Going into a good zone beating concept here. Flat, zig, and like I said, that zig is extremely hard to cover. That flat route is going to pull for that zig at an insanely high clip. I mean, every single time, really. And then if it's not, then you've also got a 5-yard in that you could playmaker, and you've got a post over the middle of the field that's getting a clear out from the tight end. Here I tried something a little different. I was experimenting with this because usually I put this guy right here. Usually I put this guy on a curl. But I also feel like I end up playmakering this running back up a lot if he has a lot of hook zone, a lot of 5-yard hooks, and a lot of hard flats. So I was like, all right, you know what? Let me try something different. Let's just put a deep in on him, and if I that way if I playmaker this guy up, they're not running into the same space. And just didn't work out. I've never ran this play like this before, and you know, I think a slant would be better on the tight end instead of a post. It would just probably run a lot better instead of running into the same area like it did, and also, that was probably match, I would assume. Could have been some man ups. I wasn't really paying attention. But going into some Y off trio close. Need to use this formation more. But drag. And this was really what put us in a bad spot in this game. This put us behind early. And, you know, what we should be reading here. It's a very simple read. Drag. Angle. Deep cross. If he switches onto either of these guys right here, then we have our two clear out routes that we get to over the top. And it's just not a great play to run when you're inside like the 25 anyway, because there's a smaller window for you to be able to throw these clear out routes if they do switch down aggressively. I mean, it's just a horror. I honestly, I don't know. It's just, that's uncharacteristic of me of how I've been playing lately. I feel like I've been playing at a high level, and this was just, I mean, if I go through my reads here, I guess what I was seeing in the moment is, you know, this outside defender over here. It looks like he does want to follow this drag, and this guy also is following that drag. I think what I was seeing is I just step here, and you know, I thought maybe the pass would be a little more accurate. That was stupid to throw it on the run, but I thought I could just fit this into this window right here if these guys are both flooding here. That was probably my thought process at the time, but for some reason this guy just kind of played me for a fool. And if I would have gotten off of this, you know, I didn't even see these routes because this is what I'm reading last, so would have had easy touchdowns over here from his aggressive switch, but you know. That guy for some reason just decides, oh, he doesn't need to cover the running back anymore, and the corner takes him, and unfortunate series of events, and that put us in a bad spot to start the game. But all right, 1st and 10, a couple other plays happened, but looks like we ended up cross-manning the tight end here. Played okay defense. I don't know what that play call was by him, actually. I feel like that wasn't even the greatest defense. It's just he had everyone vertical, and I had the one underneath route he had cross-man, so looks like we are looking to engage here or user rush to try and throw him off, and we get picked up, and he ends up blocking his running back, and you know, we've got guys in coverage, but really everything is open right here. He called this a good play, very good play, and I've actually started running this quite a bit. It's where I'll break this down. He called it an extremely good play, and it was just a bad time for me to user rush, especially when he was blocking 6. He made a good play call, but this is really good against cover 2, and I have this guy in a cloud flat. It is cover 2 to the right side. He could throw the slot fade, and then it's, you know, PA snag over here, slant, post. Usually I like to put this guy in a flat, but clearly he's worried about the rush, so he blocked his guy. Kind of unfortunate that I still didn't get in here. You know, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 on 1, 2, 3, and it just looks like that he must have slide protected. We'll take a look at that. Did he slide his protection? Yeah, he slid his protection, and great call by him. Picks up a lot of yards on 2nd and 20 off a really easy pickup. If I just wouldn't have engaged, you know, Honestly, we probably could then switch over and cover everything, and that was probably pretty bagged, but yeah, it's just bad timing for that play call. Motion's out as running back. I've got a cover two to the right or the left side. And actually, no, sorry, I have a cover two to the right, cover two, and I have a cover three to the left, but they're both 10-yard hard flats. And we end up switching up to the safety, and we just can't cover everything. I really sold out with flooding the left side of the field. And we do a pretty good job, but we just have basically, you know, and he could throw his running back route. This is really pulling in my hard flat, but unfortunately, I think I have to switch off Sanders here and get on to LT or Kinchins. Pull Sanders back towards the post, switch down and cover the slant. Yeah, basic PA snag combo, and he just gets me with it. It's a great play. And we go into a bit of a man shell here, and everything looks extremely bagged. I mean, all I have to do is switch up to the streak above me, and you know, I could pretty much take away anything on this play. One fatal mistake that I made is I did not man up Joby, my current user. I meant to put him in a hard flat, and he's still manned up to Rashid. So Rashid is double manned up right now. And when I go to switch up to the streak, take away the pass lead streak, he swerves back inside and goes to cover Shahid instead of staying in the hard flat. And I didn't even realize that I didn't get him on the hard flat yet. I looked at it in the review in the stream replay, and I realized it after the fact. It's just kind of an unfortunate series of events. So this is a big drive. Want to start it off good. Already had a negative play on first down, and we just decide, you know what? We're just going to go to one of our money plays. He doesn't cover the flat, doesn't switch out there. We're just going to take that flat right away. You know, if there's no hard flat out there, or it has good leverage against any kind of like curl flat, it's just that's a free 8 to 20 yards right there. Now we go into our basic spacing switch. Same concept as before. He's got no hard flat on the field. That's our first read. Boom, Matt Forte. Out. Almost get loose there with the speed boost too. We're showing a similar look as before to when we were trying to throw the beater, and you know, we're really looking for this whip route, but I'll break this down real quick. Pulling for the whip route. That's our main, you know, that's our really slant whip route. We're just reading this area of the field to see what we can get open. You know, this is backside pulling. You know, there's a window we could hit this slant over here too, because this guy's going to be vacated. And if these guys are dropped like this, you know, there's a window there possibly as well. And then our last read is just our curl route. Can, you know, against man or zone, as long as he's not using it, pretty much can throw that every time. And he has nobody there, so we just take our nice little whip route. Looks like I decided that I wanted to just, you know, kind of flood the sideline. On this play, the idea is we've got a high-low on the right, high-low on the left, and, you know, our slot fade is clearing out for us. And we just take our nice, you know, maybe he was in a 10-yard hard flat right there, so it kind of deceived me a little bit, but Taylor Mays comes down, he plays that decently, but it was enough to get the first down, and that's all that matters. We just got to move the chains in that situation. Not the best play on first down or on second down, but we decide to try and catch him off guard here. Not a lot of people would run the ball on 2nd and 9, catch him in a bad spot with his run shoot. We go off tackle, hadn't run that all game yet, and nice little gash, first down. Okay, big 3rd and 5 here, and we go to one of my favorite plays. So how you set this up is you come out in a formation where you can flip, and you audible into Y off trio close, the motion PA switch play or whatever, and then you can put your outside receiver on a flip drag, and this is just going to basically run a flat route way faster. It's extremely hard to cover, and if it is covered, that means we have our zig or possibly our streak, and if that's covered, then we're likely going to have a halfback in route and a 10-yard dig over the top. And we actually had our streak there, so I guess maybe I just wasn't really expecting man in the situation. I got a little too caught up on the underneath routes, and you know what, maybe it was some sort of hybrid shell or match. It's hard for me to decipher this. I had Rashid early, but I think in this situation I just missed him. But we roll out, we make a playmaker, we make a play. We know because this guy running across the field covering the dig in this situation, he's manned up. We know that he's not going to react to this throw with Parham, so really that is extremely wide open. There's nothing to worry about there, even though that guy's close. When someone is manned up, they're not going to react to you throwing to someone else. So we decided to run the clock here, waste all of his timeouts, and I just don't want him to see the ball again, to be honest. We call a timeout with 14 seconds left. Now we've got 3 plays to score as long as we don't take a stupid sack. We've got high-low on the left over here, great against cover 2. If they fall asleep, you can throw this hitch, but it's mainly pulling for this deep cross over the top. You can hit it in a window here, hit it in a window here, and then also we've just got to drag. Keep them honest underneath. High-low, high-low. You'll see that's a common theme with really good combos is multiple high-lows on the sideline and over the middle of the field. And we just take our nice easy drag. Luckily do not get tackled before the end zone, and it puts us in a decent spot before half. First play we come out and we decide to run some doubles. Good little PA snag combo. Looking for our drag, and then we're going to find our post in a window. His switch is a little too late. Pass lead it down a little bit so it doesn't run into him. Beautiful. And back to that same Y off trio close combo. Actually almost threw R1 there, but I saw him switch aggressively. You can see my face, my reaction. I was thinking about it. It would have been a fucking devious chuck, but I decided to take my easy 7 yards and just keep it pushing at this point. I was confident in moving in the ball. I was still confident in moving the ball here. So when you flip to doubles, you can actually get this combo where you have your running back on a flip drag. And, most people are not going to expect this. I'll just draw it up for you guys. You have this stock like slot fade here, streak, post, and return. I just think a lot of times people have drag, crosser, running back streak, right? And I just personally feel like that gets switched really easily sometimes. So I think this gives you a better chance. I usually look out here. I look and see if it's man or zone. If I could throw my seam streak right away. If it's cover 2, I'll try to make this throw over here to the slot fade or to the fade outside. And then if not, high low. If they switch down aggressively on the post, I think it gets in a better spot than a wide receiver deep cross. Better spacing in my opinion. If they switch down on it, hit either of our clear outs. If not, return route can playmaker it up too. So fantastic play against every single coverage in the game. I love these kind of everything beaters personally, especially with how much people are mixing up coverages and running match and everything else. And I actually remember this now that I think about it. And at this point in the game, he was getting so aggressive with this switch, and I hadn't caught him out yet. I was expecting him to get aggressive there, and it just didn't work out. I held the ball too long. I had my tight end post. If we go back. So right there, he's covering the running back. And right here, as soon as he makes that switch, I can throw this tight end post in a window no matter what. There's no way he can switch this at this point if I just throw it right now. But I waited a second, expecting him to switch to triangle. I didn't necessarily expecting him to switch to this middle safety, and then throw a triangle for a touchdown. That was my plan. And I ended up just checking the ball down because of the pressure. Get screamed at. Took a chance there. Didn't work out. 3rd and 3. So I actually thought in this situation, I would assume, he's going to try and run an aggressive style of coverage. So this is the setup, similar to before. We have a clear out. I keep the corner out this time, it looks like maybe, but I have a clear out for this slot fade. You can hit that in 2 different windows. And then we still have the good whip curl route on the backside. Oh, nope, I turned it into a deep out. But regardless. Oh, and then it looks like now what I ended up doing here is I ended up going with, since I figured he may be in a more aggressive shell considering it's 3rd and 3, I decided, let me try and take the top off on here. So I basically run a strict cover 3 beater, trying to take the top off the defense, but he's in match, good defense, and I just kind of make a play with Caleb, boost, get out of there. Not the best play call by me, good defense by him. So now that he's back in match, I decided to go back to a little match beater. And we have a high-low over here. Can't cover both of those. Boom. Take our flat route. Take our 3 yards. We're not mad at it. Got to take that all day. Now we'll go short side, inside zone. We make some good cuts. Could have scored a touchdown there. Just got to have a little better stick. Go back to our spacing switch. This has been a good staple this game. Flat route taken away. We hit our slant in a window. Very good. 3rd and 4. We go to a little motion dig under, I believe. And really good defense, to be honest with you. If we go back here. So what I'm looking for is this wheel route open immediately, especially against man? Doesn't look like it's going to be man, but you know, if the safety is on him, this is a beautiful, easy 5 yards. If not, speed slant, corner, a little bit of a high-low here to, you know, if this guy bites here, or if this guy comes down, or if he comes up, and these guys aren't on 5, you know, this just gets under a lot of different coverages. And then if that's not open, deep cross, running back streak. Running back streak not as effective in the red zone. He actually goes cover 2 cloud here, and just has all of his you know, he has his corners backed up. It looks like we could have taken our wheel possibly, but that's a great call for this play. He switches and takes away the deep cross as well, so really good defense. Everything is bottled up. We make a fantastic playmaker though, and we just find him in this little window for a touchdown. You know, kind of a bailout. Pestability in the game for a reason though. Gets us back in the game though. You know, we're here, we're ready to play. 21-21. Game's not over yet. It looks like we're going to set up our blitz off the left. Make sure we're in a decent spot for a run shoot. And he's just, you know, when we call that blitz from the left, it looks like he's kind of getting the hang of. He's just rolling out. So, you know, maybe in hindsight we should get away from that a little bit more or try to disguise it better. But he's just sprinting away from it every single time. So have him in 3rd and 10. We're trying to go to a little anti-pass lead. Basically, I'm shading outside, cover 1 here, trying to take away corner routes, trying to take away pass lead streaks, because you're not going to be able to throw a pass lead streak if we're outside shaded and we have a middle third on the field. And then we're going to switch over to Lawrence Taylor, make a play, and I think I just got set up late. Maybe I was trying to put Lawrence Taylor in a hook, and I just completely fucked up my switch, ruined that play. Unfortunate, he just gets a free first down and a really big opportunity for a stop there. Looks like we decide to stay in the man shell though. Some different adjustments. When he motions that guy out, it just throws everything off. I may even take a timeout here, do I? No. I think I already took a timeout earlier in this half for the same reason with that halfback route. And see, he's just killing me with that all game. It really was always there to the wide side of the field. So, gotta learn from that, switch out to it more. And really, I remember this point in the game, I feel like I was just trying to do a little bit too much and get a little too adjusty, and they just weren't good adjustments, to be honest with you. My fingers were not moving well, and I was just kind of playing like a bot, to be honest with you. So he just quick hikes inside zone, and I don't have the shoot set up, and free touchdown. A couple drives this game where I just made it way too easy for him. A couple drives where I played fantastic defense, and we made him work. We got him to 4th downs. And we did learn from this, and we did play better defense the next time we played him, but same concept as before. And, you know, he switches our drag route there. Our angle route, he switches off of that, and I learned from my mistake. I don't throw it because Mike Evans is going to drop back into his zone here. And now here, I see this, and not open. I see this, and I see this. And I know he's going to come down. He's been aggressive all game. And if we just see this guy come in free here, I just don't get the time to throw it, and I have to throw the ball away. I tried to get out of the way and tried to avoid a intentional grounding. It really probably should have been intentional anyway. I don't know. I guess there was a guy over there, but, you know, unfortunate. We had a touchdown. We just got shedded there, and it didn't work out, but we fight on. Good concept here. That flat route, can take it early, or we throw this running back in right away. Boom, we hit it. Good gain of 7. Third and manageable now. So we go into our tried and true Durham out of bunch tight end week. It's been working for us all game, and he takes it away, but boom. And that's what makes this play so special, man. Like, huge play, huge gain, absolutely beautiful read. You know, we got to our 4th or 5th read here. It would be our 4th read here, and you know, a pressure situation against a top player. He takes away our flat, he takes away our running back, he takes away our drag, but that means one thing: we got this post right here, baby, and if he switches down on that, we hit him deep. So, you know, hit this in a wonderful window. I couldn't have drawn this up any better. This was perfect execution. I'm actually really happy with this on this drive. And boom, yes sir, wonderful. Get out of there with Shaheed. Big gain. Keep the chains moving. And unfortunately, that was just an auto shed, man. I get the secure pro for my center, so kind of an unfortunate series of events there. I think we had an opportunity to still throw the curl, pass lead down the return, or possibly beat him deep with the wheel since he was a little late with the user on it, but unfortunate. We go back into our motion escort and stem that up. Probably going to motion out the running back. You know, simple concept we've been running all game. It's been working really well for us. It's worked every single time so far. So this time he looks to switch it, but you know, he doesn't fully commit to it. We just take our whip route. Third time this game. Working beautiful for us. So there's a little glitch if you accidentally hit X when the quarter changes and it brings you out into formation. I didn't want to waste the timeout when I only had 2 at this point in a close game, so I just said fuck it. We're gonna run single back, and I actually almost burst out of there. You know, unfortunate. I was forced to call that play essentially, unless I wanted to burn a timeout. But then we motion over into trips tight end, China wide post. We take our running back. You know, gain of 4, not the worst situation, but now on 4th down, oof. This was probably honestly, the angle route early in the game was pretty tricky. Watching it back in hindsight, I'm not as upset about it, but this was a bad read right here. We try to go back to that same play as before, and we actually get off the running back a little too early, I think, now that I'm watching it back. Yeah, if you see he makes the switch over there, and I guess that's why my eyes got out of there. No, he switched that all the way. Never mind. And really, everything was just bottled up. We probably could have hit the curl late there, but just good defense by him. The running back route was wide open, but he made a great switch onto the safety, and he honestly just played great defense. So we take our 3. We're not going to disrespect him right there and go for that. We want to stay in this game. Want to make sure we're covering the run. And as soon as I get out of my gap shoot, he looks like he audibles into an inside zone, and just unfortunate. I was in the spot to gap shoot, I move, and he runs the ball on me. So now we get the ball back and we're in a tough spot here. We got to go get points quick, not mess around here. So looks like we're going to go for a bomb first play actually. Just a little cover 4 beater. Don't really necessarily expect for it to work that well against him. We're going to slide our pass flow right and untarget the right defensive end. Hopefully he gets bumped. And his loop just absolutely fucking screams at us and doesn't get picked up by our full slide somehow. So kind of unbelievable. But play was pretty bagged anyway. He was in match. Wouldn't have worked. But here we go to a match beater. And also just a great play to get that corner out open. Now we're going to go back to our tried and true Durham, man. Live and die by the Durham here. And oh, man, looks like we actually had our post late too. You know, I expect him to switch out and take out away the flat. Actually could have still probably thrown it, but he had switched out there a couple times and made it a little scary. So we got our eyes off of it quick, expecting him to go to that Mike Evans because we don't want to make a stupid read. He takes away the drag. He takes away the streak. When he switches back here, I expect him to pull up and go on that post. That's why I didn't throw the post. I actually still could have thrown it, to be honest with you. But regardless, I think this is still a good read as well. Assuming he goes for that post, we find the running back in a window, pass lead him down, and we just get a horrible animation. So I'm still happy with how I read that. We're running that play at a pretty high level. We go a little drive under, drag from the tight end, flats on our outside receivers, in from our running back, dig from our slot receiver. Just trying to run an underneath concept, pull his hard flats and his yellows outside, hit the drag. Perfectly executed, wide open tight end, good against match. Go back into a match beater here. Really, it's an everything beater, but it's great against match. I expected him to respect my burst outside there. That's why I cut it in like a bot, but he just clicked off. So we're going to go to spacing switch. And again, I think I'm just looking. Oof, I mean, that was a really close window. But I don't know. I would think I was respecting his switch a little bit too much here. He's been really aggro all game. And this moment right here, I'm just fully expecting him to switch to his safety. And I don't want to make... If I throw the ball now and he switches to his safety, it's an interception. So I wait on it, expecting him to do that. And he just doesn't switch. And... you know, I guess at this point I should have checked down to circle once he turns around there, but then he switches as soon as I throw the fucking ball. You know, just bad timing. Probably should have been a pick. I also thought I could just click on and get in front of that regardless, but again, that's like the second or third time I try to catch him, and that's the one time he doesn't get aggressive with the switch. So back to a little bit motion HB or motion halfback choice, and we just fucking dot him up right there. We needed a big play. Kept our eyes downfield. Looks like it's just straight cover 3. I noticed that cornerback on the right side gets pulled out a little bit, and there's really nothing the safety can do in this situation. I don't want to throw. It looks like he has a deep half on the left side of the field, the other cornerback. So I don't want to throw Shaheed. We've got Dion though, and we pass lead him slightly outside. Absolute fucking piss missile laser. So beautiful throw. Then we go into an aggressive shell here. A lot of crossmans, out of doubles. And we play really fucking good defense. I mean, this is a bag right here. So we've got this guy in the left on a 10-yard hard flat. We've got our safety on the nearest threat on Shaheed in case he goes vertical. We don't just want to get instantly beat like we did earlier in the game. And then we have Mays on the outside receiver, assuming he's going to come on an out-breaking route or an in-breaking route. But if he doesn't, our hard flat should be able to carry him vertical long enough to the point where we can get out there, switch to it, and make a play. And then we've got the other two guys, or actually we don't have the other two guys crossman. We have the tight end manned up, and we're just going to look to switch to our hook curl and play everything else. And really, I mean, this was a bag to perfection. It doesn't get much better than this. We play everything perfectly. We switch over and take away the pass lead streak as well. I'm extremely happy with that. Also, if you notice, Mays in that situation just held, that hard flat held him up just long enough so Mays could still get there. He could have thrown the fade, but, it's hard to make that read. You're usually going to be off of that in that time period. So we go to a similar shell, it looks like. Kind of a hybrid shell. Now we're just going man up, hard flat on the left, cover, essentially like a cover 3 on the right, and he just floods the right side. Cam Newton gets bumped a million times, and he actually finds a nice pass lead streak backside on the left. So he must have noticed our man ups. He made a good read here. Kinchin's got fried. No, he didn't get fried. I mean, we just didn't make a good switch, and he made a good throw. I mean, I don't know how that's an intentional grounding, but it puts us in a really tough spot, 3rd and 12. Here we're looking for a high percentage play. We go to our flip drag motion halfback out. I feel like this can beat any coverage. I think also I'm probably thinking let's hope he gets aggressive. But we end up just checking the ball down, and we get a first down out of it. That's the great thing about that play is it's all around. It can beat any coverage. And if there's no hard flat there, or those zones get pulled up from the streaks, just take what they give you. Even on 3rd and long, we can make a play. Rack is extremely good in this game if you can speed boost. We hit this corner out earlier in the game. Looks like we're going back to it. This time it's kind of bottled up, but he's in match, and that is a match beater, folks. We hit him with a bomb. Shaheed, beautiful read, and that puts us in, at striking distance. This game is still winnable, and looks like we're gonna go for 2 here. Same combo we ran earlier in the game, probably. Yep, this time we put him. We put him on a hitch, sheet on a hitch, and we just see that our cover 2 on the right side. We crisp it, hit our corner out. We put ourselves in a position where the game's not over. We got 2 timeouts, and we were so close to getting that onside. He runs it out a little bit, and honestly, it's not the worst case scenario because now it's possible to hold him to a field goal. Time, yeah, we're in the spot for the run shoot, and looks like he made some good on targets, but we're sending 5 there, so we still get free. Looks like we actually go with the pretty brain dead shell there. It might have just been like a stock cover 3. I'm not even really sure what I was doing, but I know we were in position to shoot the run regardless because I was tired of giving up easy runs. He decides to take his field goal with almost no time left. And here things are looking pretty grim. But we've got 8 seconds. Ball on the 35. Try and make something happen. Problem is we're not on a hash, and I just don't think he's going to give up a beater really. So we're going to try and get to a hash is my thinking. We're going to run the same good combo. We're expecting, honestly, to take something underneath, and that's what we do. I wanted to hit it, maybe that post or that running back early, but he played a pretty good job of it, even in prevent. So we just took our check down and got ourselves to a hash. Now it's a possibility that we can call a beater, We come out in bunch tight end weak. It's probably our best formation to, call bombs. And I just kind of got the feeling, in hindsight, I should have just took the chance, Even if I don't get it, even if I don't hit the beater, I could still just chuck up a ball and get a free touchdown. But I also trust in my run stick a lot. And we decided, let's just go duo. And we actually have a lane. And we break out and, Deion Sanders bumps us. And you see my reaction, man. I really felt like I could have gotten out of there if I was not hit by Deion. I trust in my burst, and I feel like I could have scored that. But, we played a tough game, tough opponent. Played well at times, made a couple bad reads. And this definitely made us a better player. We came back stronger the next time we played him and played better defense at least. So I'm not terribly mad at the performance. We made it to the semifinals of a pro tournament, and it's really only up from here, man. We're just trying to get better, trying to stay on the ground with the content. We gave it our all out there. We tried our best. It's a tough opponent. It's my first time playing him. It's the reason I'm playing in these competitions is so I can get this kind of rep, and we're just trying to get better every single day. I want to try and make a live event in 2027, or I want to make a live event in Madden 27, if not sooner. We're going to be playing in some MUT leagues and everything else soon, and we're just trying to get to play the highest level of competition possible. So if you guys are interested in watching that, subscribe, follow me on Twitch. A lot of these games will be streamed on there, so appreciate y'all boys for watching the video though.